M24 Chaffee, a Sherman medium tank M4A 3E4, little array of mortars. That's the haubitz. Welcome to the History Hunter. Welcome to our small adventures with the World War II time frame. If you're new here, we travel, we research, and we go to World War II locations, and we find and share great World War II history. Me and my son, we do also build models, and the other day we were looking at some footage that we actually have forgotten about. The lost footage is of a very, very interesting place. So if you love tanks and war gear, well, you are at the right place today, because what we're going to show you here today was nothing less than absolutely spectacular. So can't wait to share that with you. If you're new here, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you do, give us the courtesy of watching the video in full, then you are helping the YouTube algorithm to make us grow and share it with more people. But now let's go out there and see what this beautiful place was all about. Welcome to the History Hunter. Welcome to our small adventures with the World War II time frame. Today we have a little treat for you. We are going to check out a little museum with some beautiful Panzer artillery and tanks and artillery. So that's going to be very, very interesting. So join us. Let's go and find this little piece of history. This thing here on the outside is just spectacular. It's a modern type of tank. It's got nothing to do with the Second World War, but nevertheless, really cool when you come across things like this to actually go study it and see what it's all about. And I guess that a lot of you know a ton more about these than I do, but at least I can say a bit of this and a bit of that, and then we can figure out the rest together. Definitely a tank from post-war, and if I'm not too mistaken, this thing was widely used all over Europe, and I can see the profile of the turret is very, very familiar. It's got kind of huge wide tracks, rubberized running wheels. The turret is pretty flat actually. And big. And I wonder how thick that armament is. You can see the eyes there, almost like the prisms that you can actually see outside with. And there is probably a scope there for night view, perhaps. Maybe a laser scanner or a laser rangefinder. These here are just hatches, it seems, so you can open up something there. Absolutely crazy big. Spear tracks here, everywhere, lights. Rubber belts, so that is probably for civilian use. It's definitely capped off in the ends here. Yeah, watch your fingers. If you get your finger under there, you're gone. So don't have your finger here. Yeah, really heavy duty hooks. See here, these are like lights, battle lights, and these are regular lights, I think. No. These are battle lights, and these are regular lights. Yeah, these are just the orange ones are the ones they use when they go on rehearsals in the area. I've seen tons of tanks in this area because it's heavily used, some of the areas here. You can also see these optics here. They will look out from them. Let's go from this side. As I said, we're going to go inside and we're going to really have a look at what they have here. There's a lot of strong sun here. These are probably smoke grenades, perhaps. Heavy duty cables on there. This looks pretty complete if you ask me. Very, very complete. There's a number there, 91. That is probably the date of the production, 91. That's a typical European or German type of doing it. So I think it's actually built in 91, this thing here. around the 90s. And in the back you can see, looks like fans, inlets, hooks, massive hook in the here, in the back there, 68632, and lights everywhere. I wonder if there's a hatch under here.
Really?
Are there any hatches?
No.
I can't see any, but you can see. That's interesting to see the inside of it.
No, nothing.
I can't see any hatches.
You are down
But this is heavy duty.
You also down to the hatch over.
Alright. Got this thing here on the outside. Massive gun. I mean, a massive gun. Just like a moving gun. It's not 88, I know for sure. It's much, much bigger. Holy cow. This looks rigid. This thing is clamped down to keep the barrel steady when they're going at their paces. It's huge. This one's got fixed these eyes. Wow. You see the welds there? That is heavy duty welding. Let's go on this side. Not that wide tracks, so this is just half the width of the other one.
I think this is a...
Might be a Paladin, he says, but I'm not sure.
No, it's not a Paladin.
It's not a Paladin.
Yeah,
This got some kind
Paladin
of...
has something special. I think
yeah,
it has
okay.
something
There's the
special.
camel webbing here. Got a number 45271. And there is where you probably either enter or load the gun.
Help.
Or put in munition perhaps. Look at these doors. They're pretty heavy duty. That is like 1 inch.
There.
Could be where you actually load. There are like toolboxes on the top there in wood. So it's pretty massive if you ask me. Another hook, and I guess the personnel would actually go in here. And this is also like 1 inch thick. Yeah, absolutely heavy duty.
Maybe that's how the bullets did.
Sometimes you can actually say this says, what's that, 88 or 68?
63.
63. It's not a 63 model, that's for sure. But wow, it's big. These are probably the lights they use in battle. And these are regulars when they travel around. Oh, that feels rock solid. I wonder how much this thing can take before it kind of collapses. And this thing as well, it's like at least 1 inch thick. Very, very cool. Is that exhaust coming out? Ah, it's massive. Alright, let's go inside, see what they have. Is that cool or what? This is absolutely wonderful. Look at the huge guns here. This goes all the way back from very, very long time back in time to almost today. There's a mortar. Different kind of sizes of mortars. Absolutely crazy. Look at that thing there. What on earth is that? That's a very, very, very early gun. Oh wow. And the size of that thing over there. Wow. Steel pieces of the wheel. Let me see what the thing, 15 centimeter iron cannon. That's a 15 centimeter iron cannon. Never seen anything like that. Look at the projectiles there with those welded kind of bongs on the side to be twisted in the barrel. And yes, these barrels are twisted or have rifling. Insane. It's completely built in iron. Yeah, must weigh a lot of kilos. Look at the bridge in the back there. This is primitive, but I bet they were very efficient in hitting whatever they wanted to hit. I wonder if you can see how heavy it is. No, they only made 26 pieces. That's it, 1889. That's old. That's insanely old. And I guess these are the projectiles for that one. That's a machine cannon M40. And this is a 37 millimeter used from 1945. Feldkanone. Yeah. 20 millimeter and 37 millimeter Feldkanone. Wow. Tons of different munition and rounds, it looks like. Carl Gustav is a very, very known weapon system. M22, M95. Different kind of caliber. That's a K98. Cleaning, I recognized that right away. That's a cleaning kit for a K98. Huh. Massive rounds there. Probably a very special penetrating tip there. Look at that thing. Wow. Never seen anything like that. We actually found a lot of these containers around the Carl Gustav. They're actually in many of the military training areas, just being left out there. Especially the back cap there. 76 millimeter M45E British Feldkanone or artillery gun, field gun, and Tau 2 missile system shot from this thing here. Guided missile, surface attack, BGM-71D. That is a spectacular weapon. This vehicle was just for one purpose: carry that tow missile launcher around. Wow. And this looks familiar, huh? Willys M38A1. Definitely Second World War edition. What is on top there? What is that? .106 millimeter gun. Holy cow. 106 millimeter, that thing. This is what you've seen in the World War II movies. Willys Jeep rambling around in the terrain, hunting the Germans. And with a huge gun on top, that is crazy cool. Little array of mortars. That's very cool. That's a rangefinder. Stereoscopic rangefinder that you're going to use to decide the distance to the target. So you have one type there, one that is a little bit bigger, and then you have a massive one. That's the haubitz. It's a mobile haubitz, 155 millimeter, one shot a minute. Wow. I think that is, it looks the same as the one on the outside. That is a massive weapon. Absolutely massive weapon. And this is pretty cool. You probably recognize this if you watched or see material from the Second World War. Multiple machine gun trailer mount M55. 4 pieces of 12.7 millimeter machine guns. Could shoot up till about 1,000 meters. And I don't know how many, 4 times 600 shots per minute. Are you kidding me? That's like 2,500 shots per minute coming out of these, what seems to be 50 calibers. It's crazy. Oh my goodness. There's a ton of modern type of gear here. Nevertheless, very cool to see. We have, I don't know, some kind of, what is a radar wagon, some sort? Yeah. Wow. You can actually see inside one of these. This looks very cramped. Wow. So, you're now inside one of these Panzer vehicles. Maybe some radio equipment. This is where you drive it with 2 huge sticks. Messages came back and forth by this machine here. A headset, maps, and you're ready to go out and fight the enemy. Wow. Interesting. Absolutely interesting. Just think about being inside there. You couldn't be claustrophobic. Must be even worse than being in a submarine. If you ever wondered what a 155 millimeter Hubbard looks like, well, it's like that. Again, an insanely potent weapon. This is very mobile, and I guess this thing, let me see, 10 guys would run this thing, 43 kilos munition round, 30,000 meters, and they could shoot up to 4 rounds per minute for around 3 minutes, and then you have to take a break because the barrel will probably overheat. But there is something even crazier here. That thing there, that is absolutely spectacular. This is a 203 millimeter haubitz. Look at the long legs in the back there supporting it. So there would be one commander, 14 soldiers, 90.8 kilos shell, and it could go to 16,900 meters and about 1 to 2 shots per minute depending on conditions. I'm amazed to see the legs, how long they are to support this thing. And this, I have to take you back there to see the bridge. Absolutely crazy. Look at that. That's the kind of projectile tip that would go in there. This cradle would be lifted by several men, and then this bridge will be open. The shell here will go in there, shut it, boom, firing solution ready, and they pull out a cord. I think there are several ways to activate the firing mechanism. That is absolutely insane. See how many wheels there are just to support this thing, and then it will probably be dragged around by a massive wagon. Wow. Tiger tank, just a lot of small models they have, but this is interesting. This is a mouse, very rare Second World War tank, which there are, as far as I know, just 2 in existence. I think they're both in the Soviet Union or Russia, whatever. So, but that's another story, because me and Eagle Eyes, we're actually going to a very, very interesting place later, and we are going to take you along. There's actually a Sherman tank there. Do they have a real Sherman tank here? Let's find out. And yes, they have a Sherman medium tank M4A3E4 right there. This is what the Tiger tanks played with The armament in this was like a tin can, and the crews were constantly at risk of being massacred. So you can probably read a lot of what happened in France and Netherlands. A lot of the German tank crews were just laughing when they saw this little tin can. They were shooting it at ranges where the German couldn't even get at them. So very cool to see one here. This is the barrel. .105mm haubitz. Wait, was it 105? So 76mm. These are real steel tracks. That looks like a bicycle thing. Be a machine gun there. A lot of you have probably seen the movie Fury. See that? If you haven't, then you get a good grip of what a tank crew in a tank like this would experience. Munitions boxes in the back, tools. The turret there. Well, that was no match for the German Tiger tank. And also, all of this couldn't take much before it was just smothered to bits by the German 88mm in the Tiger tanks. Pretty cool, pretty cool. This is a very, very fast light tank compared to the huge Tigers. So what they learned to do was the tank crew kind of got together where like 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 1 of 16, huge clusters of these hunted the Tigers, and if they get close enough, well, they could get them, but very often they had to sacrifice many tanks to just get one Tiger. That's a cool little diorama. Seems like the Germans are in action there with a motorcycle and a light vehicle fighting the way. Maybe through France, I don't know. Have to say, I'm impressed. A lot of interesting things here. And it's so cool that you can take your children and look around. We actually were allowed to go in here without anyone to be here. And that's very cool. Thank you for that. It was an absolute blast. So if you ever come to Denmark, you have to go to the Artillery Museum in Oksbøl, and I think you will have a very nice time seeing this place and learning from the past. And if you bring your kids, there's a lot of interesting stuff to look at. Absolutely tanks and guns everywhere. If you want to help us out to reach more locations like this, we have this little super thanks feature here. Basically, your opportunity to help us out to get some gasoline into the fuel tank, go out and find and share even more cool history. I have to say, this place was just amazing. We were very fortunate to be able to check out that place without any other there. And Eagle-Eye, he was running wild, so I hardly saw him the whole video because he was climbing on top and under and into all of the tanks, and he just had such a blast, and I had a problem getting him out of there. But nevertheless, loved it, just loved it. I want to say a massive thank you to all our Patreon team members. Thank you for being in there for us. You are the guys and girls who helps us out to go out and find and share more history. Thank you to all of you who support us by donations on PayPal. And there are links to the Patreon and PayPal thing in the video description under where it says more. Just click that and you'll find it. But we are definitely out there and we're going to share more with you very, very soon. So in the meantime, Everybody just stay safe, keep smiling, and before you know it, we'll see you out there in the next one.